So, I'm not allowed to have emotions. I'm not allowed to be angry when people harm me. I'm not allowed to be angry when they lie to me or when they steal from me. You expect complete perfection out of me because I'm different. Kind of like them stories you hear about, you got yourself a Robert Salnicki. What's that? Well, that's a complete and total idiot. This guy fucks up every day and, well, never gets more than a verbal reprimand, but you fuck up once and you're fired. Yeah, there's a lot of Robert Salnickis out there. Now, I'm not allowed to cry because I have a penis. I'm not allowed to make a police report because I'm crazy. And then, I'm not allowed the benefits of somebody who's crazy when it comes to the courtroom because I'm not crazy. It's funny how that works out, ain't it? How you're crazy when it benefits them and you're not crazy when it benefits them, but only when it benefits them. See, while I was begging for these people to stop, begging for help, begging for somebody to go in with me so I could be treated like a human being, so I could have rights and be heard, I got pretty words, and that's it. A lot of people, I invested exactly what I had left, all I had left, into believing their bullshit. Hey, Sean, why don't you go down to Peace's place in Florida? Well, that's the thing. A lot of people said, well, you know, I told you to do this and told you to do that and you didn't do it. That's because you were fucking full of shit, Peaches. You were full of shit, Caramia. You were full of shit, Layla Johnson. Layla Johnson especially. What that woman did, well, she belongs in there in the special house with them police officers. The difference between what happened to me and what should have been morally the correct thing to do is one person going in there with me. One. In the entire state of Colorado, there wasn't one. Not even one. There's people who said they would, but just never did. Or when they had plenty of time, they just wanted to sit down and play video games, and I gotta be patient. And I gotta be patient, and I gotta be patient. Or, if they're not playing video games, it's their family that's important, and that's understandable. But then after their family, it's time to watch Game of Thrones for 8 hours. It's difficult for me, knowing that I'm judged at a much harsher standard than the rest of you, that I have less rights than the rest of you, that I have no representation in the courts, in Congress, none. That you guys expect things from me that nobody could possibly fucking do. With everything that I was forced to do in order just to get myself somewhere reasonably safe. Nobody should have to jump through those hoops. When somebody is having their life threatened and they're being actually assaulted, they need help. And then there's the programs that you think are supposed to help. Let me tell you about the programs just before Natalie died. All right? Let's talk about Kahuna Counseling in Region 1, Nebraska. Those folks were supposed to help me out, and one of them did. Her name is Tamara. Jen Beebe was my replacement. She didn't show up until 5 months after Tamara left, or more. That's quite a while. I needed a caseworker to help me with this. Now, I was told by Nicole Peralta and Tamara that as soon as I got the diagnosis that we could do something in the courts to get these people to leave me alone. Who are these people? Well, that would be Maddie Boa, Alicia Bollinger, and their cronies. Now see, here's the thing. Alicia Bollinger has not addressed this issue even once. what she does is hide behind others. It's not her fault that these other people do these things. Well, actually it is. They did so because she lied, she misled the situation. She was literally there with Dalton Crawford while he was threatening my life. So I ask you this, who was it that threatened who? I threatened to defend myself to the best of my abilities, whereas these people were just malicious. You know the difference? Meanwhile, the term mentally ill makes you automatically guilty. Having a penis makes you automatically guilty. Meanwhile, the real predators always get away. Why? Because I'm not human enough to listen to. The police everywhere refuse to allow me to write a written report. Everywhere. But I found my ways. I certainly did. I found people in the jails who could get me written reports. And although they weren't taken seriously, I still got them. The things that I've gone through are for trying to turn in the goddamn police. Now, there's a lot of people like Darren O'Connor. This guy's a fucking coward to the worst extent. There are things you simply just don't do to another human being. I guess I've been walking for a while. Gonna walk around the lake. They said there was some good spots around here. Let me show you what a good spot looks like, though. No decent place to dig in. I've been walking for about 20-30 minutes now. I'm just sick of it. Now, don't get me wrong, I love to walk, and I'm still going to enjoy the walk back. It's the fact that, yeah, there's too many fences, too many private property signs to even get to an area that's forested. So I'll have to come back another time and check it out, I guess. There's another place closer to Bristol. And I guess I'm gonna check it out tomorrow. Hey, that's pretty cool. That plow kind of looks like a swan. Kinda. Guess you just gotta use your imagination. There's a lot of people who gave me their word that they would help how I needed and just didn't. Never got around to it, never had the money, never had the time. And even when I paid money, they threw it back in my face. Not as in throwing the money back in my face, but throwing it back in my face that I gave them money. Like Miss Peaches and Todd. See, what happened there is Miss Peaches couldn't come to my court dates. She didn't have the gas. So I gave her money so that she would have gas, so that I could have somebody who would go there with me. See, if you got somebody who goes in with you, it shows that somebody gives a shit, and they're less likely to fuck you over. They wanted me so bad that every time that I went into court with somebody, they'd postpone it and postpone it. Now, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. A lot of discrepancies between what the public pretenders had to say, what the DA had to say, and what the police had to say. When it came to investigating themselves, it's obvious the police aren't going to do that. Are you fucking kidding me? And we got officers who want to straight up lie at every turn and every corner because you said you were trying to turn in a police officer. Now, out of all the police officers that I told that to, none of them wrote that down. What they did was try to revise what I said and twist it into the most manipulated, fucked up, contorted bullshit that it could possibly be taken or construed as. And they were only able to do that by not having body cams or by turning their body cams off, by not recording. I recorded a lot. There's a lot of stuff that I recorded that I should have been able to send to somebody. But you know what? There was nobody to fucking send it to. Dan Faber wasn't going to do a goddamn thing with it. Shannon Alvarado wasn't doing anything with it. You should bring it here, Sean. You should send it here, Sean. Why? What are you going to do with it? Is it just going to sit there in a corner for 6 months? I mean, really, I needed somebody who was actually willing to help. And see, that's what family's for. A lot of these wingnuts that helped out the Bollingers, after what the Bollingers did to Natalie, yeah, they don't deserve help. The only help they deserve is straight into a straitjacket and straight into prison. Pick one or the other. Are they crazy or aren't they? But I'm going to tell you truly and honestly, I hope the Bollingers get an honest day in court, unlike what happened to me. I hope they're either branded as crazy and kept that way so that they could have the rights of a crazy person, or they're considered sane. If they're considered sane, then they have the right to speak. But they need to be considered sane through all of it. The shit that I was put through would drive anyone fucking crazy. Anyone. Don't matter if you're autistic or not. It don't matter if you have Tourette syndrome or not. It don't matter if you got family or not, or friends or not. This shit drives people fucking crazy. And then I get to listen to people's trivial problems, and they truly are trivial by comparison with this. Nobody should have to go through what I've gone through. Nobody should have to be an asshole in order to defend themselves. And you know what? Miss Peaches is a liar, for damn sure. Intentionally? Well, it don't matter if it's intentional or not. The fact is, she lied repeatedly. Repeatedly. And so did Raja. See, as soon as it didn't benefit them, it was time for the door. And that's the way it was with everybody. Now, Miss Peaches, she stuck with me harder than most. That's true. And she tried to understand better than most. But the fact is, all the shit that I went through at the hands of the police, well, that was all her doing. Did she make the police do that? No, she kept on saying that she'd go in with me. And then when it was time to go in, she just couldn't. And I have to understand that. But she doesn't want to make any effort to understand the fact that since she didn't keep her word, I got fucked. The things that I told her would happen if I went in alone. The reason that I went to her for help. Yeah. And then they want to throw shit at me like, well, you're not in prison. Fuck you, Peaches. You know more details than that. You know damn well that I went to you repeatedly before Natalie was killed trying to get fucking help with this. But you didn't have time. You didn't have time. You had to go get weed for Dawn. Or you had to take care of your kids, which is understandable. Or you had to wind down for video games. Alright, we'll do that. You want to play Magic the Gathering? Fine, we'll do that. We'll do what you want. Because if I do what you want, maybe you will do what you said. But you never did. Not before Natalie died and not after. Now, there was little shit that was supposed to be helping me to get it to where I could have an honest day in court, where I could get somebody to go in with me, where I could get a safe place. Everything that I needed to defend myself was taken away from me over slander. Taken away. And I'm not allowed to defend myself against these monsters, and they are monsters. Good people don't do this shit to innocent people. Good people don't steal from someone like Ken and Leah did. And you know what? They're not the only ones who did it. And you know what? Maybe these people did it on purpose. Maybe they didn't. But that's fucking arbitrary because the outcome is the same. Without somebody in my corner who actually cares to listen, none of it matters. Dan didn't want to listen. Layla